I set one card face down. Next, I activate the effect of Odd-Eyes Revolution Dragon in my hand. I discard this card and pay 500 of my life points in order to add a level 8 or lower dragon type pendulum monster from my deck to my hand. Any response?
None.
Oh. In that case, I will add this card from my deck to my hand.
Alright.
I won't be done quite yet looking through my deck. Next, I'll activate Supreme King Gate Magician. And then I'll activate Supreme King Dragon Lightning.
Alright.
Next, I'll use Supreme King Gate Magician's effect to destroy itself in order to place a different Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from my deck to a Pendulum Zone.
Okay.
And the other card I will be activating is Supreme King Gate 0 to set the pendulum scale. Next, I normal summon Performer Pal Skullcrabat Joker. When this card is normal summon, I can add a Performer Pal, a Magician Pendulum monster, or an Odd-Eyes monster from my deck to my hand. In that case, I'll be adding a second Supreme King Gate Magician. Next, I activate Supreme King Gate Magician's effect from my hand. Because I control another Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster in one of my Pendulum Zones, I can send a Pendulum Dragon, Xyz Dragon, Fusion Dragon, or Synchro Dragon from my hand or extra deck to the graveyard in order to special summon it. And I will choose to ditch Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon from my extra deck to special summon Supreme King Gate Magician from my hand. I can only special summon this art once per turn this way.
What's up, mister? How you doing?
Next, Supreme King Gate Magician's effect. If this card is special summoned, I can add a card that mentions Supreme King Zark from my deck to my hand, other than a spellcaster type.
Alright.
And I will be adding this card. Next, I'll use Performer Pal Skullcrabat Joker and Supreme King Gate Magician to link summon. I will link summon into Beyond the Pendulum. And next, Beyond the Pendulum's effect activates. If this card is link summoned, I pay 1,200 of my life points in order to add a Pendulum monster from my deck to my hand. Any response?
None.
Now then. I will add this card from my deck to my hand. Now then. I will proceed to Pendulum Summon. Supreme King Gate Magician times 2. And then from my hand, I will Pendulum Summon Harmonizing Magician. Now Harmonizing Magician's effect activates. If this card was Pendulum summoned from my hand, I get to special summon a Pendulum Magician monster from my deck to my field in defense position, but that monster has its effects negated. And my target shall be level 6 Oath Dragon Magician. Cut or tap?
Cut.
Alright. Next, I'll use Oath Dragon Magician and a Harmonizing Magician to synchro summon. Because Oath Dragon was special summoned by Harmonizing Magician's effect, that monster is banished when it leaves the field. I will now synchro summon into level 10. Let's give a warm welcome to Arms of Gen X Return 0.
Hello.
Next, I'll use Beyond the Pendulum as 2 materials with one of my Supreme King Gate Magicians. Now I will link summon into Link 3. Exceed the Pendulum. Now exceed the Pendulum's effect on Link summon. I get to target one Pendulum monster in my extra deck, one face-up Pendulum monster in my extra deck, and return that monster to my hand. Next, I'll set one card face down, and I will end my turn with that.
Alright. What's the turn? First, I will start off by setting one monster in face down defense mode to keep you guessing. And we'll have to end turn for now.
Alright then. I will draw for my turn. Now then. I will use Exceed. First, I will use Exceed the Pendulum's quick effect, and I will special summon a monster on my hand to a zone that this card points to in defense position, as long as that monster's level is between the pendulum's scales. And with Supreme King Gate 0 at scale 0, and Supreme King Dragon Lightworm at scale 8, I can special summon the tuner monster, White Wing Magician, in defense mode. Next, I'll use Exceed the Pendulum as 3 materials, and White Wing Magician. With that, I will link summon into my Link 4. Access Code Talker. And now Access Code Talker's effect. I can target one Link monster in my graveyard that was used for its Link summon, and it gains attack points equal to its Link rating multiplied by 1000. And because Exceed the Pendulum was a Link 3, Access Code Talker now goes from 2,300 to 5,300 attack points. And now I activate Access Code Talker's effect. I banish a Link monster in my graveyard and target one card on the field and destroy it. And I will destroy your face down.
No! My marshmallow!
And now I will proceed to the battle phase. Access Code Talker, direct attack for 5,300.
Yeah.
And next, Arms of Gen X Return 0, direct attack for 3,100.
And that other one was how much?
3,100.
That is game. And I will start this thing off then. I will. Wait, we don't. I don't draw for the first turn, right? I'll wait until you after you.
That's right. You don't draw for the first turn.
Alright. Like I was saying, I said a card in my back row and a monster in face down defense mode. And I'll pass my turn on to you then.
Alright then. I'll draw for my turn. Anything during my standby phase?
Nothing.
Alright. In that case, I will activate Wisdom Eye Magician. Then I'll activate my spell card Duelist Alliance. Because I lose a card in the Pendulum Zone, I can add Pendulum Monster or spell a trap at list Pendulum in its name from my deck to my hand. And I can only activate Duelist Alliance once per turn. Any response?
Nope, you're good.
In that case, I will be adding Star Pendulum Graph. Next, I will activate Purple Poison Magician. Next, I activate the continuous spell Star Pendulum Graph. Then, I will set one card face down. I activate Wisdom Eye Magician's effect. By destroying it, because I have a Magician or Perform Power card in my other Pendulum Zone, I can destroy this. And if I do, I can place a Magician Pendulum Monster from my deck in my Pendulum Zone other than this. And I will place Perform Power Celestial Magician in my Pendulum Zone.
Alright.
And that triggers the effect of Star Pendulum Graph. If a face-up Magician Pendulum Monster cards leave my Monster Zone or Pendulum Zone, I can add a Magician Pendulum Monster from my deck to my hand. Any response?
Nothing so far.
Then I'll be adding this from my deck to my hand, since it's a Magician Pendulum Monster. Now, I will Pendulum Summon Supreme King Gate Magician and Purple Poison Magician. Now Supreme King Gate Magician's effect. When special summon, I get to add a card that mentions Supreme King Zark in its card text other than its spellcaster type. I will add Wings of Light. And with that, I will now activate my Quick Play spell, Wings of Light. Since it's my main phase, I get to add a Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate Pendulum Monster from my deck to my hand. Otherwise, if I control a Supreme King Zark monster, I could special summon that target monster that I choose to add instead. And so, I will add Supreme King Dragon Lightworm. Cut or tap?
Cut.
Alright. Now then. Now I will normal summon Supreme King Dragon Lightworm. And with this, I will now tune my level 4 Purple Poison Magician with my level 4 Supreme King Dragon Lightworm, since Lightworm is a tuner monster. With this, I will now synchro summon into Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. No matter. Alright. Now that that's settled, I will proceed to the battle phase. Supreme King Dragon Clearwing will attack into your face now.
Red Eyes, Red Throat Dragon.
Alright. And next, Supreme King Gate Magician attacks you directly for 2,500.
Alright. Yeah.
With that, my turn comes to an end.
Wow. All I can do is that monster face down in defense mode, and that's my turn of leaving.
During your end phase, I will reveal my face down card, Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. With the effect of this card, I get to tribute a spellcaster type pendulum monster whose original attack points are 2,500. And Supreme King Gate Magician just so happens to fit the requirement. Then I can banish materials from my field, graveyard, deck, and or extra deck, as well as in my hand, to fusion summon Supreme King Zark. So then. I will banish Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon from my main deck.
Alright.
And then I will banish 3 more monsters from my extra deck. Starving Venom Predator Power Fusion Dragon. Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Then, Odd-Eyes Rebellion Xyz Dragon. With these 4 monsters, I'm now going to fusion summon into Supreme King Zark. And now then, Supreme King Zark's effect for Chainlink 1, and Star Pendulum Graph's effect for Chainlink 2. Star Pendulum Graph. Because a Magician Pendulum monster left the field, whether it's in the Monster Zone or Pendulum Zone, I get to add a different Magician. I get to add a Magician's Pendulum monster from my deck to my hand. And I will be adding the tuner monster, Harmonizing Magician. And next, Supreme King Zark. Because it was special summoned through the effect of my Soul for the Supreme Celestial King trap, its effects are not negated since I banish monsters whose actual names include Pendulum Dragon, Disease Dragon, Synchro Dragon, and Fusion Dragon, respectively. So now, because Supreme King Zark is special summoned, all cards my opponent currently controls will now be destroyed.
On the field.
All monsters and spells or traps on your field will now be destroyed. That nukes your entire field.
Left field dragon. Alright,
Now it's my turn. I draw. Now then. I will Pendulum Summon from my extra deck first. Let's see. Supreme King Dragon Lightworm. And then from my hand, I will Pendulum Summon Harmonizing Magician. Now, Harmonizing Magician's effect now activates. Because I Pendulum Summon the monster from my hand, I get to special summon a Magician Pendulum monster in defense position from my deck, but that monster's effects are negated. And so, I will now special summon Black Fang Magician. Cut or tap?
Tap. Through top.
Alright. Next, I will overlay my level 4 Harmonizing Magician and my level 4 Black Fang Magician. With these two monsters, I will now build the overlay network in order to Xyz summon. I'll call upon Rank 4 Raider's Knight. I can do this because its requirements for its Xyz summon are 2 level 4 Dark Attributed monsters. And next, I activate Raider's Knight's effect. I get to detach 1 material from this card, and then from my extra deck, I can summon the Phantom's Knight, a Ray Raptors, or an Xyz Dragon Xyz monster that's 1 rank lower or higher than this card. But that monster will be destroyed during the end phase of my opponent's end phase. So now, I rebuild the overlay network in order to perform a rank up Xyz evolution. I'm calling on my rank 5 Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. And the funny thing is, Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon cannot be destroyed by card effects. And now I'm going to use its special effect now. I detach 1 Xyz material for Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon's effect. Now it gains the attack points of every other face-up monster on the field. And since this card has, and also, every other face-up monster on the field has their effects negated because a Dark Attributed Xyz monster is part of its material. And so, Supreme King Dragon Clearwing with 2,500, Supreme King Dragon Lightworms 1,200, and Supreme King Zark's 4,000. All of their combined attack points will now be added to Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon's 3,000, for a grand total of 10,700. Now I will proceed to battle phase. And during the turn that I used Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon's effect, no other monsters can attack other than Arc Rebellion. So now I will attack you directly. Thundering Fang of Destruction.
Yeah.